Welcome back. Today we're making a set of Blooming Lotus earrings. We'll be using Swarovski crystals and Amoricast sterling silver Blooming Lotus connectors. To make these earrings, you'll need the following sterling silver components: 1 pair of ball earring hooks, 2 16-gauge 45 by 45 mm soldered rings, 2 16-gauge 18 by 18 mm soldered rings, 4 18-gauge 4 by 4 mm jump rings, 2 Blooming Lotus connectors by Amoricast, fine cable oval chain, 26-gauge dead soft wire. You will also need the Swarovski crystals, 6 4 by 4 mm bicones in amethyst, 8 5 by 5 mm bicones in amethyst, 4 4 by 4 mm bicones in light amethyst, 10 5 by 5 mm bicones in light amethyst, 2 5 by 5 mm bicones in clear, and 4 4 by 4 mm bicones in clear. When you're designing with lots of components, try laying out your pieces on masking tape. This makes it easier for you to see which of the crystals to use next as you're weaving them into the frame. And, even better, it stops everything from rolling around. The first thing we're going to do is attach the Amoricast Blooming Lotus connector to the 45 mm soldered ring. Using your flat nose pliers, open one of your 4 by 4 mm 18-gauge jump rings. Attach your Amoricast Blooming Lotus connector, followed by the 45 mm soldered ring. Close your ring firmly. Open your second 18-gauge jump ring. Attach it to the opposite side of the soldered ring, followed by the opposite end of your Blooming Lotus connector. Close the jump ring firmly. Now we're going to weave on the Swarovski crystals using 26-gauge wire. Using 3 different color Swarovski crystals, we're going to create a beautiful ombre effect. Measure out a 7-inch piece of sterling silver 26-gauge dead soft wire. To anchor your wire to the soldered ring, we're going to fold the wire just below the Blooming Lotus connector and twist it 3 or 4 times to secure it. Trim off any excess wire with your nail clippers. Slide your wire up near the jump ring of your Lotus connector. Now slide on a 4 by 4 mm clear crystal. And wrap and loop the wire through the bottom of your Lotus connector. Making sure that the wire is pulled tight and the crystal is positioned near the jump ring. Slide on a 5 by 5 mm light amethyst crystal. Hold it tightly next to the clear crystal. Wrap your wire around the soldered ring to secure, bringing the wire to the front of the piece. Slide on a second 5x5mm, followed by a 4x4mm light amethyst crystal. Wrap your wire through the same section at the bottom of the Blooming Lotus connector as the clear crystal. Give the wire a good pull so the crystals are sitting firmly against each other. Slide on a 4x4mm, followed by a 5x5mm amethyst crystal. Position your crystals close together. Wrap the wire around the ring to secure them, and bring the wire to the front. Once again, slide on a 4x4mm, followed by a 5x5mm amethyst crystal. Adjust the position of the crystal, and loop the wire through the centerpiece of your lotus connector to secure it. Slide on a 4x4mm amethyst crystal. Secure it by wrapping through the bottom of the lotus connector. Slide on a 5x5mm amethyst crystal and wrap the wire around the ring. Bringing the wire to the front. Remember to keep adjusting your crystals to the side so they stay firmly in place. Slide on a 5x5mm followed by a 4x4mm light amethyst crystal. Loop through the bottom of the Blooming Lotus connector. Slide on a 5x5mm light amethyst crystal and wrap around the ring. Slide on a 4x4mm clear crystal and wrap the wire through the bottom of your Blooming Lotus connector. Take this time to adjust all your crystals, making sure that they are sitting flat and tightly together. Now we're going to secure the end. Wrap the wire once around the ring, and then once around the top of your 4x4mm clear crystal. Pull your wire tight so the crystals don't move. Use your flat nose pliers to help tighten the wire. Bring your wire to the front of the frame and clip the excess with your nail clippers. The bottom half of your earrings are now done. Now we'll create the top half. To begin, we're going to need 1/4 inch of fine cable oval chain. Take this time to cut 2 pieces so that you can make the other half of your earrings. Once your chain is cut, we'll attach the crystals. Slide the small piece of chain onto your 26 gauge wire. Followed by a 5x5mm amethyst crystal. With your round nose pliers, wrap the wire around the very tip, creating a very small loop. Pinch the loop to make it slightly smaller with your round nose pliers, but don't make it too small as your crystal will slide off. Slide the crystal down, keeping the piece of chain to the side. Bend the wire at a 90-degree angle and create a loop with your round nose pliers. Slide the chain into the loop, grab the loop firmly with your pliers, and wrap the wire 1.5 times. Trim the wire with the nail clippers. Take your 26 gauge wire and feed it through your chain, followed by a 5x5mm light amethyst crystal. With your round nose pliers, create a small loop at the end of the wire. Minimize the loop with your pliers and slide the crystal down. Bend the wire at a 90-degree angle with your round nose pliers to create a loop. Slide the chain into the loop. Grab the loop firmly with your pliers and wrap the wire 1.5 times. Trim the wire with a pair of nail clippers. Slide the 26-gauge wire through the next loop up the chain, followed by a clear 5x5mm crystal. Once again, create a loop at the end of the wire. Slide the crystal down, bend the wire at a 90-degree angle, and form a loop with your round nose pliers. Slide the chain into the loop. Grab the loop firmly with the pliers and wrap the wire 1.5 times. Clip off the excess with your nail clippers. Now you'll need one of your earring hooks. Open up the loop of the hook. Slide the end of the chain onto the ear hook and onto the loop, followed by the 18mm soldered ring. Close the loop of the earring hook, and you're finished. Congratulations! You've just finished the first half of your Blooming Lotus earrings. To create the other half, simply follow the steps laid out in this tutorial. Thanks for watching! We hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe to our channel because we've got more how-tos and design projects coming up.